Hey y'all, it's Barbara and Tim, and we are at Sharp Cemetery in Springdale, Arkansas. And we have a few graves to show you and a little story for you. But we're going to start with the first grave in the cemetery, and that is Matilda Sharp. And she was the first burial she was the first burial in this cemetery, and this is her grave. So Tim, we'll let you go ahead and you can read her
Okay.
stone. And
This is, the first grave in this cemetery, and it was her family that owns this property. It still is her property, or
Sharp
their property.
on Sharp Farm,
Sharp
yeah.
family. This is the whole family cemetery. And she was born October the 25th of 1826, and she died April the 3rd, 1856. She was 29 years old. And when she died, she left behind her husband and three children that we know of for sure. 4-month-old Sally, 2-year-old Thomas, and 6-year-old William. And then down here we have her husband, H.M. Sharp, and it says he died July 24th of 1906. He aged 82 years old. But buried here together with him is Liza Sharp. He remarried after he lost his first wife. He remarried, and uh, she died March 30th, 1910, and she was 76 years old. And I'm not sure how many children they had together, but we know that this one right here in between them and his first wife is James G., son of H.M. and E. Sharp, born April the 3rd of 1866 and died September the 3rd, 1872. And this is a unique stone here that we found here that we didn't know exactly what happened on this one, but we wanted to talk about it a little bit. It was a brother and sister, Darling and Alfred. And Darling was born on February the 11th of 1816, and she died March 14th, 1865. She was 49 years old. And this is her brother, Alfred, born October the 1st, 1826, and he died March 14th, 1865. He was 39 years old. So they died on the same day. And we did a lot of research to try to find out what happened, and we don't know. So maybe we could get some.
Their last name is Brown. It looks like their last name is going to be Brown. Or children of A and N Brown. I would think Alfred's last name is Brown.
Yeah, I don't know if Darling married or not, but it doesn't say anything. So, and they're here buried together, so we think something happened to the both of them that day, and they lost their lives, and so they decided to bury them together because it sounds like they were pretty good brother and sister with each other a lot. And
yeah, they both died March 14th, 1865.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then where are we going?
Here. Okay, I'll just let me stand here with you. Okay, so what we found interesting about this one is just look at the dates on this. Mother Frida Ann Beard, she was born July 12th, 1907, died April 10th, 1934. Her son Teddy Wayne, born April 9th, 1934, died June 28th, 1934. So she was, what was she, 26 years old. He was just almost 3 months old, but he's born on April 9th and she dies the next day on April 10th. So there had to be complications, And I don't know if y'all are going to hear me or not. I don't have a microphone, but I was going to try to throw that in for y'all. So just go over here now.
Yeah, and then he didn't make it but just a few months, and he died.
Yeah, maybe,
Wow.
maybe not quite 3 months.
So this is another story that we wanted to tell about this young man here. His name's Leander Brown, and he's the son of J.W. and V.O. Brown. He was born February the 15th, 1891, and he died June 26, 1905. And this was a terrible accident. Leander and his 8-year-old sister were sent by their parents on an errand to the neighbor's house, and they took a gun with them, and they had to cross a creek. And so when they got there at the creek, Leander told his sister to hold the gun while he crossed over to the creek. When he got to the other side, he told his sister, said, he was just joking around from the way we understand it, and he said, shoot me. But he knew the gun was unloaded, and it was supposed to be unloaded. And so she pointed the gun at him, and she pulled the trigger, and the gun was loaded and shot him right through the heart.
And what was he, 13 or?
I think Find a Grave says he was 13, but his tombstone here shows that he's 14, I believe. So
Go with the stone.
We're going to go with the stone. And just a tragedy of, crazy stuff that happens, and never point a gun at somebody. Man,
And
I don't.
This cemetery is on the Sharp family farm in Springdale, Arkansas, and it's an operating farm. We drove through a cow pasture and walked through a herd of cattle to get up here on this hill to the cemetery. And it's definitely a family cemetery. It's really an awesome cemetery, and to be in the family, still operating the farm this many years.
Yeah, because it was probably, I think the first grave was in like
Matilda, what was
early
that?
1800s.
No, I didn't write it down, but yeah, she was 18. Well, we walked back over there.
Early 1800s, so it's been in the family for several generations.
Yeah, when Matilda was the first burial, and she's a Sharp.
And they may have owned it longer than that.
Oh,
we don't know. That was just the first burial. But everybody in this cemetery, from what we understand, is related. But Matilda here, was born August 25th of 1826, and I would imagine she was born here.
Maybe so, but we know they owned the land in 1856. But we met a young man his last name was Sharp, and he gave us access to the cemetery. He was a very kind young man, and he said, sure. And so, anyway, the farm's still in the family. I love that.
Yeah.
And right here on their working farm, they have this cemetery for their relatives.
Yeah, and they're still taking care of a lot of this right here as well.
They have it fenced off. We did find this over here that they probably need to work on. Not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I think they're working on this. They're going to try to restand this stone, but I'm guessing that this tree had something possibly to do with it, and these stones that are next to it, and need to get it organized. You can tell that these were. Yeah. Is my shadow? That helps. I don't know how you pronounce it. Effie. Is that Effie?
Effie.
F-E-L, wife of A.B. Sharp. Born March 7th, 1867 and died July 7th, 1911. And I guess that's all we have for you today on this video. So we thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.